Hello and welcome to the Kitsune League Upper Division Grand Finals, where we got Ripcord versus APE. Two teams that are ready and raring to go, and it's me, Avalanche, and Zima bringing you the action. How are you doing, Zima?
I'm doing great. Excited to cast this grand finals match of Kitsune League Season 5. I mean, I've been watching this tournament from a sideline for a bit. Couldn't really cast it because, EU times at night, but have got the opportunity today to do that. And yeah, I'm happy to do so.
Yeah, we're here on the night shift, bringing you guys all the action, but we're going to look at how our two teams are going to be shaping up for this final game of their season. Shoreline Pie, Kairos, Supine, Nutty, Luca, and Potato on Ripcord. An Ape, Star Potato, Friday, who I believe is not playing today actually, so it's going to be someone in instead on that DPS role. Yukino on the tank, Manny, Zimzif, and Cam lining up for Ape. Those are your two teams, and my word, there's some great players here.
And speaking of Friday not being here today, I'm just checking their team sheet, and it looks like basically everybody except for Cam and Money are eligible to play DPS. So I feel like they have that sorted. Um, I heard that uh, Zim is a pretty flexible player, as well as Cam. Actually, Cam, never mind. I thought Cam was eligible for all roles, but he is only eligible for tank and support. But I was told he was a really flexible player. Anyways, is
Well,
there a player you wouldn't talk about in particular? Oh, never mind. We're going to
Well,
Blackness.
we'll get onto that in a second, but as you can see, Ripcord just ripping through the competition so far in this upper bracket, going through undefeated on maps, sending Ape down to those lower finals, bouncing straight back up to rematch them in our grand finals, first two for tonight. And I am really excited to see Shoreline Pie and how they're going to get on in this grand finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Hitscan player for Ripcord and many other teams. Honestly, like this guy has such a rich history in uh high level play. I mean, not oh, yeah. And yeah, I'm excited to cast him again. I have cast him before, and he's always a pleasure to watch. Honestly.
Absolutely. And you can see there's some of these players that have been around for a long time. Yukino, I'm always a fan of seeing play. Haven't seen the tank come out too often, but obviously there is the flexibility for that as well. But I mean, looking at these two teams, there is some absolute firepower there. And you expect Ripcord to come in, play the basics very well. Ape without Friday are going to have to switch things up a little bit, but obviously with the nature of this tournament, potentially with that six-man roster, you're going to have to switch things up sometimes. Some fortunate to not have everyone here for your grand finals,
Yeah.
but made it this far, and you've got to be able to step up when it's needed most, and it's going to fall on someone's shoulders today for Ape.
Honestly, Ape might not be looking too great going into this, but remember, going into the lower finals and coming out on top of that lower bracket finals match is usually a good sign. Like, it's a bit of an advantage coming into the grand finals since you can prepare for the top dog. The you can for the Ripcord this in this case because you've played them before and you know what they're on. You know what they're gonna come out with. And yeah, I hope Ape did do their homework today and hope they're just going to come out swinging. They are the underdog, so really they have nothing to lose here.
Absolutely. There should be some download in terms of going into some of these games thinking, maybe we've played this map against them before. I think they've come across each other a couple of times in this tournament already, so they can have some knowledge, but Ripcord have been on an absolute run through that upper bracket, on track for the golden bracket as well. If the full 4-0 does come out today, that means they will not have lost a single map in the entirety of the playoff finals, which quite ridiculous to go through this whole system and still be coming out as dominant as they are.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, uh, Ape has the work cut out for them if they want to win this one, and Ripcord are not gonna be letting it down that easily. So let's see. I mean, this is a marathon of a game. We're gonna get into control first, the classic, and I'm excited to see what the teams have brought out for us today.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a marathon and not a sprint. And sometimes when you are aiming for these golden runs, you get tripped up at the first hurdle and it really knocks your confidence. But you can see these teams coming in now on these different compositions. Very, very standard there for Ripcord, but you can see on the other side, Bastion Cat. Will it be happening again?
Bastion Cat. I've watched Korea, and I did not like what I was seeing. Not on the sense that I did not like what they're going out with, but like just on a spiritual level. Are we actually going? Yep, we are going with Cat. It is. They have watched the Korean ones. They are trying to copy it. Cat on the server. Cat Bastion flying over the top of the pagoda. And already doing some damage to the soldier here.
Yeah, they didn't know about it before, they absolutely do now, but it's going to be a lot of pressure onto Shoreline Pie to keep this Cat Bastion in check, just rotating back around the corner, making sure there's not an easy target here, but Supine's been able to at least reach the objective, and they should be able to bunker here fairly easily. Kairos just trying to apply some pressure, make sure that Phililove can't get in immediately, but Zimzif has been caught out here. The Ana just getting some trouble, and that means that Cam's just going to fall over on that Mauga, and eventually it is going to be the pressure onto the rest of the team now that that big chunk of Samoan man is gone. Shoreline Pie finding the headshot as well with that railgun. Beautiful start.
Such an important bit of pressure for Kairos there to just get the attention of Zimzif. Just enough that Cam falls over. Like, that is the value that Tracer brings to the table in this kind of comp. But here comes the Bastion from over the top again, trying to do something here. And
from the skies once more, but it's not going to work out. Just too low to the ground, falls into the Tracer clutches, and now Supine can walk forwards onto the rest of this team. The Cat with no one to carry is going to try and get away, but Shoreline Pie making immediate work of that. Kairos finding that Tracer 1v1 win as well. Surely Zimzif doesn't fall here. Gonna get some care, but they push right back.
Yeah, great peel there from... I'm not even sure who that was. I feel like it was the Cat. But yeah, keeping that Ana alive does buy you a little bit of time so you can get back into the fight a little bit quicker. Speaking of Cam, going in with the Moga, trying to do something here, but the Kitsune is gonna make him fall.
There's just not enough care for the Mauga to stay alive at the moment. Ana's not able to pump out enough healing to keep him up when that cardiac overdrive does fall down. And you can see that they've decided to switch over to the Winston here, trying to get something else going on. Obviously that Cat just, when it's hanging out with the Bastion,
oh, it's over. I was gonna talk about the ultimates, but it doesn't even matter. They cannot even contend here. The Bastion falls off.
45 here into the overclock is going to be difficult for them. Sound barrier engaged as well, and eventually, yeah, Phililove is going to feel the pain of those right clicks from Shoreline Pie. It's going to be a first objective and a very clean objective over towards Ripcord. Falling. I mean, the Call of the Void is there, but you can't be having that going into a grand final, surely.
If you're Ape right now, you are nervous. You are facing a brick wall, and you have weak knees. You're trying to push against it, but it's not budging. They need to work on their mistakes, but they cannot fall into the trap of falling back into your own head, into your own nervousness. You haven't got a kill, but that doesn't matter, because this is a new round. You need to just reset the mental. That's the main thing. If they can do that, they're golden.
It's going to be a little bit more open for them here on Gardens as well. Not as many places to hide here as they're control initially from Ripcord. Yep, that is certainly a crosshair, but Suzu used to make sure that you can get away from this Bastion, and the more and more this Bastion cat comes online, the better it will go towards the end of these fights. You can see the Zarya switch as well from Cam, just trying to mirror this out.
Oh, and this is such a juicy backline.
But they can run forward straight over them, and even with that Bastion now trying to rip through them, it's not going to matter too much if the rest of the team's already gone.
Yeah, like the problem with cat comps in you know, this like slightly lower level of play is that you have to be on the same page. Everybody has to play around the cat. This time it wasn't the case. The cat flew away, and yeah, the Ripcord was just able to capitalize on it. It was basically a 5v3 on the bridge, and they took it. Here, Bastion walking from the back. Now it's a little bit better, but they're all hiding in the pagoda again. They're just guiding it so well. And in the meantime, they're just burning the clock.
Shoreline Pie going down a little bit low, but once more you can see they're just happy to engage onto this pod of two. The Kiri Zarya just about staying alive. Their cat with so little health, and eventually is going to fall as a 1-4 trade. So at least there's something there, but the Kitsune rush on the objective surely spells doom. And once again, Demonic Possessor finds the void, at least at the hands of the enemy this time, and not your own cat.
And that was such a cheap fight for Ripcord as well. I feel like this Bastion thing isn't working. Yeah, you have to switch it up. We go Emre, we go Lucio. I mean, now you have a bit of more of a chance. You have 50% to prove that you can do it on a normal comp. Let's see how they do it. But they're still going up against the brick wall here. So much ultimates available for Ripcord.
Yeah, they can't mirror this Kitsune rush, but it's not going to matter if the overclocks are hitting like that. Demonic Possessor falling, rest of the team going down low as well, and it's going to be clean up once more for Ripcord, making sure that they are staying as close to spawn as possible side of APE. They do have Grab Pulse, so that is going to be something, but you can see Grab Blossom on the other side as well.
APE needs something right now. A heroic play, a pick onto the backline. Star Potato could do it, deliver, but Sapine finding a grab, and Kairos has the follow-up here. Can he find another one?
Supine falls off the map, but it's going to be too little too late finding a pick like that. They have found the kill that they wanted, but not in the situation that they needed it, 99%. The overtime wait is going to burn out, and Ripcord once again looking dominant. They try to go for this undefeated run throughout the entire playoffs.
That was an absolute murder on the server. I can attribute it mostly to this Bastion cat. I mean, it's a interesting composition to run out on, but it didn't work that well, did it? And we did not switch off of it for like the 9 minutes. The adaptations needed to come in quicker, and they just didn't. And yeah, Ripcord do go up 1-0. Nil. I'm losing a little bit of the gift of speech there for a sec, but yeah, Ripcord off to a blazing start.
Absolutely, and you can see the shock factor coming in. That Cat Bastion, people have had time to download it at this point. They know what they're looking at. Instead of the first couple of times that we've seen it played in the pros, it's coming out with not really knowing how we can deal with it. Instead, Ripcord just playing the basics super, super well, and knowing that if there's a Cat Bastion somewhere, you're going to be able to capitalize on that opportunity and get forward onto that. What we saw on the second objective was a Zarya Kiriko, but they were able to do the same thing, taking the sights of the Ana away from that Mauga and making sure the tank just has no time to live. And without the tank presence, there's no pressure really that APE can use to get forwards onto the objective.
Yeah. The bright side for APE here is that in the end, they came to their senses. They switched the Bastion to the Emre, a little bit of a more sensible hero, and hopefully that adaptation stays throughout the series. They don't go back onto this composition of Cat Bastion, and maybe something will happen that's a little bit more to the liking of
I,
our viewers, who I surely don't want to watch a beat down like of that caliber.
I don't mind them going back to it. What I want to see is more consistency in the team-based comms, because you could see that the Cat Bastion was trying to engage, and there was no one in their sights, because
Yeah,
Ripcord were already chasing down those other 3 players and making the use of the 5v3 that they had. Just going around as a death ball, being able to make sure that you can take down that 3 without the sights of the Cat Bastion on you. If you're able to capitalize and put a strong push together with every single person of your team, that is when the Cat Bastion works at its best. When you've got players that are out of position, players that are going to be able to be chunked down by that turret form from the skies, and even if you're not killing them, you're forcing them out of position for your tracer to be able to sweep them up. And that's just not what we saw from APE. We saw that they didn't get a single kill on that entire first objective
yeah.
because they just felt a little bit disjointed. It's not that it's not there in those situations, but it wasn't really helping. Ripcord, having banned that Ramatra as well, is going to be back on the table for Ape, and the Pharah as well being banned on the other side. Pharah actually coming into the meta quite a lot more off the back of the recent changes that she's
Man,
had. So
can we talk about these changes? What were Blizzard thinking? Like, I am the benefactor in this, and I'm still pissed. Like, I play Pharah, and I've gained like 300 SR, 400 SR since that patch, and I do not, and I'm not that happy about it because it's just cheap. But still, she's so strong. Can we talk
I mean,
like what?
the common thing between the Cat Bastion and the Pharah, no one knows how to look up in lobbies. It's not a ground-based game anymore. You can't just be looking at the floor and seeing people that are going to be walking towards you on the ground. You've got to be looking everywhere now. And
Well,
some
I
people just
think
don't have that on lock. As well as the fact that Farah has been buffed recently to make her into a very powerful situation. But a lot of these compositions that are doing really well at the moment revolve around at least some sort of flyer, whether it's going to be the Echo, the Farah, that Cat Bastion. There's something to that level to just at least, at the very least, draw the crosshair away from the rest of the map.
and also the burst, like Farah, when she gets the second perk, she can literally one-shot any squishy at any range if she hits both her conk and the primary. Coming back to the game, actually, we have Midtown selected by Ape.
I mean, it doesn't really work as well for the cat in some situations. You can be very open to be shot down, but it
Yeah.
does mean that you can capitalize on some people if they are out of position. If you really want to go for it, I'd say possibly just go back to the standard. Try and go to this Ramatra that's been coming back up in the meta. You can go back to the Zarya if you want to as well. Just play your standards right, and that could be where you're finding these picks. But we saw them switch. Unfortunately, it was in a situation where pretty much all the alts were online for Ripcord, and they were just able to, for want of a better term, let them rip and tear down Ape, even though the composition was switched. You didn't really have anything that you could do about a Grav and a Blossom onto your backline, supplemented
Yeah.
by a sound barrier.
Yeah. I mean, what I want to see from Ape at this on this map is just faster adaptations. Just something's not working, or like something's countering me. They're playing outside of what I can do. We just adapt. We go something different.
I'm not surprised
But
to see the Soj ban either down the
so
bottom.
yeah,
That I mean, you could see Ripcord just taking over off the back of a lot of the overclocks and even just standard right clicks, especially playing against that Manga. It's just a situation
it
where you can build them
usually,
up so easily for Shoreline Pie.
yeah, these days it's usually an indicator that you want to play Emre. You ban one so that the other cannot be banned. You can protect, but also if your Emre is stronger than the opponents, you know it's going to be open. And the Juno ban, interesting on this map. I don't know. I don't think it's that strong, but I guess you just want to play the Lucio Kiri. Although I am seeing the Mercy from Ripcord.
And you can tell that Kairos is going to be spamming this choke point until the game ends or death, whichever comes sooner.
Yeah. Let's see the this Pharah gameplay coming out from Kairos on Midtown. I mean, I like this map for Pharah. It's really strong sidelines. You can see you can go over the top a little bit sometimes if you're daring enough. You can always just choke or poke this choke, and that's what you're doing right now. Kairos already on 30% of your ultimate.
And with that Mercy boost as well, it's going to be even more difficult. Get healed up, because Mercy now having that perk added to the regular kit, but still questions over whether this is going to be viable to play here. Still just chunk damage you're able to get onto Cam on any engage. Target there is difficult. Has to force a cleanse as well from Zimzir. The team just trying to get back away from the sightline. It's so difficult to be able to press forwards here.
Ooh. I mean, I'm liking how much space APE are taking, but yeah, the Emery is split off from the rest of the team. It's gonna get chunked down, almost dies, very nearly dead. I mean, honestly, Pharah has to go out of her way to get the kill there, and is out of the fight, but does it even matter? Doesn't look like it. They did get a tick.
The thing is, you trade out Yukino for Shoreline Pie, but it doesn't matter if you've got Potato on the Mercy. You've got a free res off, and it's not a trade anymore. You've not traded heroes. You've just lost one and forced out a cooldown. Yes, it is a long one, but at the end of the day, that's not going to matter too much to the rest of the team. Cam now just taking the initiative, trying to get back forwards, but you can see that Kairos is back as well. And Supine and Luca in the lead in terms of these Kitsune Rush and Annihilation. Annihilation there for Supine, just waiting on this for the moment, but you can see Cam just getting chunked down, has to force those hands up, and now Supine tries to engage here. Red Protocol from Demonic Possessor, trying to get forwards now, trying to find some target, takes down Shoreline Pie, and I mean the pressure is going to make sure that Potato can't really get the res off, just has to get back away to the rest of the team. But Supine going down.
Oh, Supine's dead.
Lead to something here. Oh, there's just enough from Kairos to be able to turn it maybe, but the rest of the team's not going to be there. How much can that Pharah do? Not enough to take it out of the hands of APE as they take this first objective.
That was such a back and forth fight there. No, I didn't know who was going to come out on top, but can we talk about the vortex coming out from Cam at the beginning of the fight onto the Shoreline by Emre during his ultimate, which led their Emre to get a kill onto that. That was kind of just what started off the fight for APE, and a great play by the whole team. Demonic kind of dead on cards. Maybe a bit of a mistake here.
Yeah, that's not going to help them get past the bridges. You can see that Supine just trying to engage further, make sure that maybe you're able to get another kill here, but decide to back over to this high ground, and this is the second objective, the second real test for APE to get forwards on. Cam trying to stay his forwards with the help of that shield, but it's going to go down soon and force back immediately. Shoreline Pine on this angle is going to be so hard to be able to push off away onto this second high ground. They're able to stage here a little bit, but it's all in small chunks, and you can see that time whistling away for them as well. Supine just keeping them at arm's length, making sure to try and deal with Star Potato, but now with that Kitsune Rush being built, seconds once more, Supine maybe just over-investing here. Cam getting two, able to get the res off though.
Wait, Supine's res?
How you're able to get that res off in that situation? Supine's still there, and surely they're going to be able to go forwards off the back of this. Sound barrier invested by Yukino to try and keep him alive. Supine, you don't have 3 lines, you've only got 2, and eventually the pressure is going to pay. They are getting trades back in here.
Yeah, Shoreline Pine did get out.
They have to get away.
But again, that's a big win for Ape. They're now getting a lot of card push here under the bridge, and they are down on ultimates, but I feel like this is gonna be fine for them if they can get a pick here. Shoreline fine, starting first.
Immediately, like, goes very early, forces.
Just guide this. Feel the look, no!
You know, how are you managing to die there? Surely you just want to fight away, but no, the pick falls onto the Lucio. It looks like Ripcord are going to be able to take back this high ground control pretty easily. You can see him set up on the corner of Shoreline Pie. The cam's still up there trying to make sure that this falls onto their hand still. And with the fact that they have these ultimates built up now, they have to survive this barrage.
Oh my god.
Not so lucky. The high ground just turns into absolute decimation at the hands of the Farah.
Wait, Farah's low speed though.
Well, yeah,
okay,
but
never
is
mind.
it gonna matter? The kills keep coming for Ripcord. You can hear
no.
less than 60 seconds left now.
Okay, I was just kind of focused on the Farah because she was so deep, but unpunished as always. Charlotte Pines even get a res, and or potato rather, and yeah. Ape now does have an ultimate advantage, but doesn't matter if Demonic Possessor is dead. You have to just go back. You have 30 seconds. Can you even get a full fight in this attack?
You have to make sure that you can't lose anyone else here, right? You've got to fight forwards. Well, at least try and stage forwards here, but make sure that no one's picked trying to get across. Surely Zimzif's going to go for the TP. Just trying to get some damage in onto that high ground. Valkyrie out for Potato. Luca going down low though.
Oh, but they're so split. Look at that. Supine gets the Lucio.
Cam's trying to do everything here, but is going to be felled. And immediately you can see that red straight back. Kiriko's back online. Override Protocol invested by Demonic Possessor, but it's not going to be enough. Now you can see everything is grape flavored on the point. Nothing really that you can do. It's a solo beat for Yukino, just trying to stall and make sure that Cam can get here next to give life for the objective. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to do too much more. 100 meters on the second objective is the final target for Ripcord, but they've given themselves a good situation to potentially take this map off of Ape and go 2-0 up in our grand finals.
Honestly, this is a very defensive, defense-oriented map. Ape can easily full hold on this map. I mean, I'm dare I say this is probably the hardest first point to push on any escort map or escort hybrid map. I mean,
absolutely, I fully agree. I just worry that
the amount of sidelines. Yeah,
we've seen Demonic Possessor just overface a couple of times, and that's been enough to take all of the momentum out from under Ape's feet. And I worry that it's going to happen again on the defensive side. You just have to be careful. Play the sightlines that you need to. Make sure you're back under cover if you really need it. You are going to get some care from Zimzif and Yukino for the rest of the team. Question is, how much is it going to pay off as we look towards this composition from Ripcord that, I mean, surely the
Widow's not going to stay, surely.
Yeah.
You just get out on Widow, try to, like, get a few shots off, and then, yeah, switch back to whatever you were going on. Probably Emery, I assume. Whatever it is.
You would think so. Yeah. No one in the sights immediately for Shoreline Pie, but you can see this Far Mercy still going to be favored here, trying to find some sneaky shots over the top of that subway car. And I mean, they
big
are
damage
hitting
though on the back line.
Big damage. They're able to keep themselves healed up, but it means that Cam isn't going to get the care needed. They're still trying to force out this. Kairos down a little bit low, but that flash heal is going to help out. That is going to help
that
out
is a great pick.
More for Ape.
Oh,
they're able to get.
Forgot they had a mercy.
Yeah, they have a mercy, but at least that's the res out of the roster for them. Now, as they try to head forwards once more, Supine maybe just going in a little bit too quickly. With someone in the back line just making
forced out.
That you can't block both sides. Just doesn't quite stay alive to get back to the rest of the team. Good gravity vortex there by Cam, and wisely deciding just to step back, take some time off the clock. Count is away.
Supine overstepped there a little bit. You need to be a little bit more chill on this point. You have to preserve your life as a tank. You have to wait for all of your team to set up before you can even step foot anywhere past that taxi. And that was just not the case. He was the sole benefactor of all the damage on the side of Ape and falls over just like that. This fight though, Potato and Luca have both the support ults. They're gonna rip out the Valkyrie right away to start off this fight.
Oh, and Pies down solo immediately. You can see that override protocol just felling down the opposing Emray. Cam with that annihilation as well, just trying to rip through the rest of the team. And now it looks fairly dominant for 8 being able to hold this. Only 2 ultimates invested for that Valkyrie on the other side.
But those ultimates were the biggest ultimates that Ape has had. They do have the Kitsune ultimate to mirror, but yeah, I'm kind of favoring Ripcord on to the next fight, just looking at the ultimates alone.
Immediately both Kitsune rushes invested. Barrage invested as well from Kairos, trying to find Star Potato, but no, you're not going to find the trace of that easily. Shoreline Pie though, able to get into the fleshy underbelly of this team. Cam now left isolated away from the rest of it. Kino's not going to be able to keep the tank alive, and eventually it is a push that is going to result in at least 2 ticks here for Ripcord. You can see now Star Potato just trying to make sure that it takes as long as possible to get this, but Shoreline Pie with a quick melee, able to take him down. Kairos doubling up as well, and this point is going to fall, and with those final kills coming in so late, they might be able to take some space away from Ape on this second defensive hold.
Honestly, that was just a brute force win for Ripcord. It wasn't the prettiest win, but you take it. Just looking at how difficult usually this point is to push. And now you have 3 minutes to basically push it to the end. I mean, it's looking good for Ripcord, if you're asking me. Star Potato also just kind of threw away that pulse bomb. The stocks are going up for Ripcord on this one, I fear.
Poor little Omnic driving that fire department truck definitely felt the force of that one, but nothing onto the team of Ripcord. And now with the annihilation, with that Mercy pocket as well, which is devastating. Cam down solo eventually is going to fall. This high ground is something that you desperately wanted to hold on to if you were Ape, but without the tank there, you're not going to be able to do too much. And now you can see they're approaching this rapidly.
There's still no ultimates available for Ape.
Yeah, they don't
at least not at this point.
Back into this. Kairos with the barrage could go absolutely huge. Something already falls. Barrage is there out onto Cam. There's going to be absolutely nothing that Ape can do to get back to the objective. Fully under Ripcord's control as they take a 2-0 lead. They look to continue this run that they've had this whole time.
Okay, but it did look pretty good on the first point defense. for Ape.
You've got to take the positives where you can. Keep that up as much as you can possibly. Even though you're 2-0 down, you're still in these situations, and you have next map pick at your disposal. So try and get something where you can hold defensively as well as possible.
Honestly, if I'm Ape right now, you lost 3-0 the previous time you've met this team, and so far it's been pretty bad, I will admit, but the second map looked infinitely better than the first. And if I'm their coach, I'm just pointing that out, that you lost not because of some innate incapability of yours, but because they just got lucky on they just used all the ultimates that they had in that fight, and you couldn't really compete with the amount of power that they had in that first point. And if they didn't if they like messed something up there, you probably win this map altogether. And you know, it's all about the longer term run for this series. You're down 2-0, but you still have 2 more maps to lose before you are out of this. So honestly just keep the momentum going. Not the momentum, keep the mental going, and just try to not hold your breath for too long.
Absolutely. Step by step, brick by brick, it looks like it is getting better for 8, but not quite enough to take Midtown away from Ripcord. Just a little bit too strong in the end with the use of those ultimates, just able to take over the face of the game. And once more, they do take out that map. Escort now for 8 as they look to try and get a bit more momentum clawed back into their direction and potentially take a map here. And like you said, you can't be looking at the huge picture right now. You know you have to take 2 maps off them, but why think about that right now when you need to get a map on the board yourself? And what better way to do it
Yeah.
than by taking this next map that you're deciding where you go to?
Yeah, take it one step at a time. First, to win the series, you need to pick a map, or so let's see what they pick. I mean, you don't want the Pharah. You cannot ban the Pharah. Okay, Watchpoint Gibraltar is actually pretty good for this, because you know that you will need the pressure onto the point here. So you probably need a tracer from your flex DPS. So not going to the Pharah. I kind of like this pick.
We've seen their willingness to go over to the Winston as well on Night Market. They did decide to go for that, so we know that's in the back pocket. The only thing we've seen from the other side so far has been the grounded tanks, so it's going to be a switch up here to try and get some momentum back into Ape's favor. And I mean, Watchpoint Gibraltar, it's a big switch up between what we've seen so far. We've seen those brawly
Mhm.
compositions in here, and we expect that to change here, surely.
I mean, we do expect it, but it's not out of the realm of reality to not switch it up. Like, it is possible to play some Broly comp here. It just has to be way more coordinated than it has been so far. But to your point, yeah, I do expect the Winston.
Especially with that Diva ban out on the side
Yeah,
of Ape. Going back to the namesake, taking out the monkey, the Winston should be coming in here, but we'll see what they do decide to go with. And a band out from Ripcord is going to take away one of the likely support backline compositions. So more likely to go back to that Kerry, whether it's going to be a Kerry Lucio, or I've seen some Kerry Brig floating around as well. Even the Juno Brigitte has been back in play. So there's a few options that you can tinker with just to try and get to something that you're comfortable with and happy. But there's a lot of questions that need to be answered here for Ape. And do they have the answers for those questions? We're going to find out soon.
yeah. I mean, do you go double, like the greedy backline, double flex
Double hit
support,
scan,
double flex support,
double flex support. You
like
could
you can
do.
go Iyari Kiri here easily for that extra damage from the defense.
Absolutely. You can just get set up on that high ground, have the Winston come back to you, be dropping down from there just to get some damage in, switch back up, full healed up by that ERE, and you can bunker up there as well. So it's going to be difficult to
Yeah,
make sure that the other team can engage onto you. Of course, there have been a few changes to Gibraltar since the start of this year, making it a little bit more viable to play those grounded compositions, but we'll see what they decide to
yeah,
go with. Definitely third objective, it's easier to play those grounded compositions in terms of just the map flow, but you've got to get through first couple in the first place, and
yeah.
shuttle control still as strong as it always has been.
Mm, not the top of the shuttle. The top of the shuttle has
Yeah,
been killed. Like, I'm just gonna put that out there. Uh, it is not the as strong as it was before. It's just not that good anymore, frankly. Okay, I'm seeing Mercy again. Surely we're not gonna pocket
there's a
Shoreline
cat on the
Fire.
other side. Are we going to be landing Cam in on the Malga onto the high ground with the cat?
That's
Is that
funny.
what we're looking at?
Now, for humorous points, or for like,
I mean,
that's just
like,
funny.
shock and awe of a Samoan man just flying at your face, absolutely, that's going to set you off kilter, but we'll see what they decide to go with, and immediately, yeah, Yukino has Cam on that lifeline out of spawn.
They cannot expect that. They cannot expect that.
But
okay,
able to force it away. The slash just boots it off for the high ground, and it gets absolutely nothing out of it. Shoreline Pie is going to be the lucky recipient of this mercy pocket for this first objective. And
okay.
So much
the cat is dead.
Immediately, the cat's gone. The cat's out of here. We send them to a rescue home somewhere.
Okay. So, humor factor aside, I don't know how much this.
Okay,
yeah.
This is better. Thank you.
If I had to cast another map of cat, I would do something. Anyways. we're back to a sense of normalcy here with this Winston, and here, yeah, look at how much more value it is, just forcing the Ashe to, you know, be a little bit more uncomfortable, as in the meantime you're pushing the cart for free basically. And look at how much attention Star Potato is forcing, but Shoreline Pie gets the kill onto the backline.
But I mean, how much of a trade is it when you've got the res? Cam though able to find Luca, that is a permanent death there for that Kiriko. Definitely going to be feeling that one a lot more now. Up onto the high ground, trying to take down Shoreline Pie. Sniper Monkey doing everything he can, but the pressure is still there. Cam able to invest a lot here and make sure there's a lot invested on the other side. It's forced the Ashe down now.
Bob is available for Shoreline Pie.
Bob being available straight onto the objective. Gonna be zoning out here and making sure the rest of the team can't really do too much. Recall out for both tracers, but Star Potato down so low already, it didn't really matter. The rest of the team just being penned down, and Supine looking to get those kills. The body block here onto Cam as well. It's gonna be difficult, but stuck between a rock and a hard place. Supine, and
it's gonna get res though. You have to cancel the res. You have to cancel the res. You have to cancel the res.
I mean, at least they get a kill off the back of it, but Supine's back, and now they've got that Kitsune crush. There is a lot of pressure here from Cam, but at the end of the day, Shoreline Pie's doing more damage to themselves than the Cam's gonna be able to on the other side. Current looking for this cold bomb. It's gonna be big if they are gonna be able to hold this, but
Zimzim
getting the kill.
That's a huge pick.
It's a massive pick. Supine, you're not able to get the care needed, just about heading back to the rest of the team. Now going to be pushed back forward, but they've C9 the objective. They've let them have it for free.
Yeah, and that was an expensive loss for Ripcord. They used 4 ultimates and got nothing out of them. APE looking very strong, going to the second point of Watch Point Gibraltar. And you know what I'm looking for? I want to see the Wu Yang bubble the Tracer and her going into the backline to get a stick. Instead, we have the Monkey. Also a good choice. It doesn't work out as well, but what can you do? Shoreline Pie on a great angle. Does get forced out by the Winston. Has to go back.
Here as well, it just doesn't quite get through that small window of opportunity. Star Potato's found one, but the biggest trade here is Cam. The Winston not on the board, demonic possessor though, trying to do everything to flip it back into their favor. Supine down low, has to force the bubble, and now the Kitsune rush, even without their tank, they're willing and raring to go for this, and it's working out in their favor. Shoreline Pie going down. Pulse Bomb is here for Star Potato as well, and they've pretty much gotten through here. Pulse Bomb stick onto Potato, falls down Zim onto Supine, and again, it's dominant for APE. They've actually gained time on that second objective, heading forward to third.
Yeah, the next fight is going to be a bit difficult, but if you can get through it, maybe force out some multiples from Ripcord, that's going to be really good. They only have the Winston ult going into this next point. Kyra switching to the Pharaoh. This is gonna be tough, honestly. They've struggled against this so far.
Bomb straight into the backline. They'll be able to get away from this, I believe, but demonic possessor going in, trying to save that Wu Yang there. But eventually, with the full force of the Winston of Supine, able to take them down with a couple of clean kills through that primal, and all that space is immediately taken away from APE still. Got a couple of ultimates out there, it's not bad.
2 ultimates for nothing used for APE. You gotta take that as a win if you're APE. And going to the next fight, you have the Winston ult still. And he's gonna go
as well. Look at the rest
he's gonna go
of them
deep
coming
here.
Up near on the board, just about 80% on a few, but losing Cam early is going to mean that they are going to be forced back once more. Star Potato trying to dodge those kunais, but eventually one falls straight into the head. But once again, you forced out that Kitsune rush, and now looks like you have about 3-4 coming online now.
I mean, going back to the attack shooter term, you just had 2 ecos. Now your economy is just booming. Like, look at them. They have 4 ultimates going to this fight, and you just need to win 1 fight with an appendix of the recontest, and you're golden. How are you gonna do it though? Winston goes in deep for the pressure on the backline, forces out the ultimates, but doesn't cover anything.
Sync feels like it's coming in there. That Kitsune rush isn't deep enough for them to be able to capitalize off the back of it. But Cam has gone in with that override protocol, and the Barrage finally taken from Kairos. It's a perfect Suzu from Simsif, and Cam able to find Potato as well. Surely this is where they break the lines of Ripcord. Winston's
and you've only used 3 ultimates.
Supine. They're trying to pressure out this Winston Kairos now. Gonna be another death in here immediately as they throw bodies onto the cart. But 1 minute 13 seconds left. As they tick down, it is going to be about 1 minute 10 and a full capture of Gibraltar for APE. I feel like things are turning in their favor.
I don't want to say it preemptively, but I do think we have a series on our hands. This was an amazing ult economy, juggling from APE. They forced out so many ultimates in those 2 dry fights that they just were able to build up their own ultimates in the meantime, and they only needed to win that 1 fight, and it got them to the final destination. Now, how are you gonna do on the defense? We're coming out with basically the same comp, except for the Brigitte is there instead of the Lucio. A bit of a more bunkery composition, which is, it's good for the defense. You do want to stay on your position instead of, move around as a Lucio. It makes sense.
It's just going to be forcing Supine back quite a lot. And it is a bit more stable than that Wu Yang that we saw on their attacking side. It's not going to be as much damage pressure, but should be forcing the Winston away more often than not. Star Potato just hiding around the corner. Going to be the one trying to make sure that you don't get that cart as far as they can, but Supine out immediately. You can see that TP over to the other side as well. Shoreline Pie once again with that Mercy Pocket, going to be looking to get those kills
that's a big nade.
early, and Simsif falls down super low. Able to get some care from that Brigitte, but not going to be in any range to hit a whip shot and make sure that
with Potato on the Mercy, you basically have all the eggs into one basket, and that basket's name is Shoreline Pie. And so far, look at the ult charge of Shoreline Pie compared to the rest of the team. You're gonna have the OP in like 2 seconds.
Give it going. They forced the Winston off the high ground immediately. They're taking so much pressure with the amount of damage.
APE is not expecting this.
Override Protocol's already hit. Now they're penned into the server room. Just about able to stay alive. Surely not for long. 2 kills immediately. A 3rd hit for Shoreline Pie. Everything going into the basket, but the basket paying off in spades. Everything falling for Shoreline Pie. An ace on the board. And when you're going to put everything into one player, you've got to have them pop up, and it's exactly what happened for Ripcord.
Okay, next fight. APE still has no ultimate, because remember, it's only been like 30 seconds in the round. Potato
5 minutes
with
on the board
the
on
Valk.
second point.
I mean, Valk going out to start of the fight. It is mirrored actually by the Kitsune rush.
Too far forwards, and that's not going to be an easy res here for Potato. It's going to be very brave if he decides to go for that, but momentum completely halted now. Ape getting back in without the face of Shoreline Pie's OP. To be helping out a lot.
Override protocol available for Demonic Possessor here. And honestly, this is like one of the best case scenarios for that ultimate. So much open space that your opponent has to enter into, but it doesn't even matter because Shoreline Pie dies. Potato as well.
Potato falls as well.
I mean, it's a 2-for-1 deal.
So much in here. You can see when it works out, it works amazing for Ripcord. But when it doesn't, you just lose 2 players straight off the bat. And Cam now with the primal in the backline is going to be looking to quadruple down on this fight for the Winston player, forcing them back with immense power.
You know, I would love to say that I love the ult there from Cam, but I don't think I do. Like, you already won the fight. You are 5v3. You just chill at that point. You don't have to force any issue. And that was kind of free before Ripcord. Maybe they're going to be able to capitalize in the long run.
It just not quite landing from the Demonic Possessor, but you can see the ultimate still banked up in that corner. That one hits on the Kairos immediately falling. But they still
I'm gonna say unlucky.
Here. They still think that they can win out here. Now the Override Protocol invested in return to be doing a lot of damage. They've been able to get Red out, so Tracer back on board, but how long is that going to stay? Supine able to find Field of Love, and now in the backline with this primal rage, it's going to find out Sim as well, and surely this is where they break the spines of APE.
Oof.
With their own namesake as well. 2 minutes 50 is going to turn into about 4 minutes, and that's a long time for
Field of Love does mirror the Mercy. The plague is spreading, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean, again, Demonic Possessor has to step it up to the level of Shoreline Pine, and that's going to be a big challenge, as we know. We all know and love Shoreline Pine, one of the best hit scans I've ever casted, and you know, this is going to be a tough one for them, for APE. They have 4 minutes to whittle down, and here comes Shoreline Pine.
I mean, you can go for it as much as possible. That Suzu is perfect, but still, Demonic Possessor does go down, but Supine goes too far forward to Field of Love, been able to get that res online. Cam just taking the pressure for the rest of the team, and where it looked so good for Ripcord off the start of that fight, they were able to throw them back away.
That is beautiful. I mean, I thought surely you died with Shoreline Pine Override Protocol, but yeah, you sometimes stay alive. Now you have one of your own in a few seconds. I mean, you do have to play a little bit slowly here to build up the ultimates, but you're gonna have them eventually. Here, yep, they're online now. And
they didn't have both support ults in that last fight. Now Override Protocol invested in from Demonic Possessor down super low. Kairos with the Sky Battle trying to take out the floating Emre, and eventually it's going to lead to no kills from that Override Protocol. So one kite away from Ripcord. They're seeing out these ults eventually. Kairos looking to get over the top here and get a line back onto Demonic Possessor. Now Kitsune Rush invested, trying to get forwards now. Star Potato looking for some sort of pick into the backline. Shoreline Pie goes down low, but the Mercy Pocket's still there. They're still trying to get forwards here. Cam still trying to find something, but the rest of the team's fallen by the wayside behind the Winston. Eventually, there's not going to be enough to stay alive. Mercy inbound. Build Love's going to go down, built up super quickly, but not going to help.
Who can touch here?
If you fall out here. First touch here for the 2 DPS. Cam definitely trying to stay alive through that barrage.
No.
Out the barrage, but eventually going to be taken down, and it looks like it's going to be time further on the board for Ripcord.
Oh my god, Shoreline Pie.
Just shredding through everyone.
I mean, you have to enter the domain of the Emre, and the Emperor is not gonna be too happy about that. Shoreline Pie absolutely destroys everybody in his sight.
17k damage. I know it's a mercy pocket, but
Oh.
still, like.
How much minutes?
Now.
How much time has like? It feels like a lifetime that we've spent on this map, but oh my god.
Well, you
So,
can
yeah.
see the gap over Demonic Possessor as well. Even though Demonic Possessor's been able to find the kills here, Cam certainly feels the better of the Winstons as well. Just like it's very close, but feels like you're getting that advantage there. You can see Kairos going back to that Tracer, and it's going to be about a 40-second lead in terms of the time that's going to be invested for. Well, the time that's
I think they're just.
Ripcord.
I think they're just picking perks, honestly. At this point, not too much to worry about. But they're hovering over this far still, actually. And Potato's still on the Mercy. I don't know if you love to see it or hate to see it, depending on who you are.
Yeah, the Mercy Mind Virus definitely alive and well in Kitsune League in these grand finals. Demonic Possessor been able to get that TP over to the high ground. It's just about a minute on the clock now for APE to be able to push forwards and try and get something on the board that's going to be unbeatable for Ripcord. A little bit more time in their favor, but Shoreline Pie able to find those headshots once again. Grenades are going to be finding their mark as well, and they're just zoning them out here for the moment.
I mean, if you're APE, I don't think you're gonna charge the ultimates fast enough. You need some decisive pick here.
Oh, but that's decisive in the other direction. Kairos finds Zimzip, and that's amazing here for Ripcord. They look to put as much pressure as possible in. Shoreline Pie doubling down as well. You've got to be careful that you're not too staggered here to go for a final overtime fight. Oh, it's exactly what happened to Star Potato. 16 seconds left. You're probably not going to have your Tracer in for this final fight, at least not for the start of it. They're going
Winston has to touch here.
Soon.
And he's going to take so much damage going into for the touch. Never mind.
He's been let this for free. Cam's just going to take this every single day of the week, at least progressing it forward. Going to be giving them some extra stuff to be able to hold Supine down super low.
Shoreline Pie actually goes down so low.
Yeah, but the overall protocol's now there for Shoreline Pie. Surely this is where they try and sweep up here. And I mean, immediately they do this double team of these DPS, making sure that nothing is able to slip through the cracks for APE. 66.07 meters for them to be able to hold, and it's not undoable. They can hold this definitely, but it's not going to be the easiest of situations.
And if we have the previous attack of Ripcord to go by, it didn't look pretty. They need to make some sort of adaptation here to not absolutely fall over to the M-Ray boosted by the Mercy Pocket. I mean, what do you do, honestly? If you want to keep the Winston, you kind of just have to not take that much damage, but then you're letting them push for free. It's a really, really hard
it's pretty much a mirror
place to be here for APE.
Yeah, it's pretty much a mirror again. Star Potato is going to be questionable because, I mean, you have to put everything into the one basket of Demonic Possessor. You have the options on Ripcord to be able to decide who that Mercy is going to pocket, but it's not going to be there for APE, so a lot of pressure onto the shoulders of Demonic Possessor here as time ticks down.
Okay, but this time APE has the advantage of knowledge. They do know what they're up against. They have, I hope, the adaptation with the Mercy Pocket.
The punish of the TP is so good! Immediately, Demonic Possessor grenades followed up by that jump from Cam just shreds through the star players so far. Shoreline Pie and Potato, that Mercy Pocket taken off the field. Of course, they are going to be back fairly quickly. Spawn right there, but it's a good start just to take it down to about the same situation that they were in before. So much damage.
Demonic Possessor goes down so low, but it's fine. Somehow, it is fine. They are giving up a lot of push here. It's gonna be a fight under the bridge here. But Kairos poking from the top still. Trying to force the issue.
Oh,
he finds it!
Able to get the res though, but that means that there's no care for Cam. Cam's been forced backwards. Now the presence here on to feel the love. Karas is able to find the kill over the top. The shots are just hitting a little bit harder for Ripcord, and eventually this should spell the doom on Gibraltar. 4-8 here, 40 seconds left. Cam's going to try and stall for as long as possible, but it's not going to be all that much. Now Star Potato has to be the one to throw the life on the line, but Supine able to find that right click in. The cat trying to keep him in it, but not for long. Ripcord take a 3-0 lead in this first of 4. It's looked less dominant as the maps have gone on, but still able to hold it, win it out, and my word, I mean, this is the sign of a championship team that you're able to win in these situations. Shoreline Pie, you can see exactly why they are investing this Mercy Pocket in a full 5 in that play of the game. Ridiculous from the hit scam.
Honestly, we've seen a bit of a rise in the stonks of APE. They've started with basically 0 eliminations in the first map. I'm not sure if they actually had any. And that was so long ago that I'm not even going to bother remembering that. Midtown, that was, I mean, a quiet, close heat. It was basically a coin flip of that one fight. And Watchpoint Gibraltar here, they were in their domain at that point. Honestly, if we project the graph, this is heading for an APE win. This is heading for a reverse sweep, if I've ever seen one. If the bar just keeps going up, there's nowhere it can stop. And I predict, right now, my life on the line, APE are winning this.
Well, we'll see if that does come true. We're going to give them a little bit of time to see which Flashpoint map they want to head to, as that is the next map type. But for now, we're going to go to a quick break. Don't go anywhere, as we are going to see whether Ripcord can take that golden upper bracket run, or whether it can start to mount a comeback in this upper division grand finals. Welcome back with us in the Kitsune League upper division grand finals. Apologies. So we see Ripcord 3-0 up against Ape. Situation Ape is all too familiar with, having lost the upper bracket finals to Ripcord by this score, but still not down and out of it yet. And we've seen Ape getting better and better over these previous maps. So as we head to Flashpoint, they seem like they're in the ascendancy, but the question is, can they start taking maps off of Ripcord?
Yes, or can Ripcord finally finish the golden stage, the golden playoffs, without losing a single map? This is what we're gonna find out in this next map. This is do or die for Ape. They have to win this one or their tournament life is over, and we're gonna declare Ripcord as the champion. I mean, so to play for.
Yeah, well, we don't know exactly where we're going to at the moment, but we know that Ripcord have banned New Junk City, so it's going to be between Atlas and Suravasa for Ape to decide. And it feels like with Flashpoint, things are going to be fairly similar no matter what happens. You're usually going to see the Lucio in here unless it's banned. I've been seeing Lucio bans a lot more recently, just trying to dictate the pace of play, making it a little bit slower. But
Yeah.
I don't know how much that would help Ape in these circumstances, unless they want to go back to that Wu Yang. I mean, potentially even you just ban the Mercy out and you make sure that Shoreline Pie can't get the
That
Mercy
is true.
pocket that's been all the rage over the past couple of maps.
I mean, I don't rate Mercy too highly on Flashpoint, but that's me. Just
I
my
don't
personal
rate
opinion.
Mercy too highly in general, and they've
That's
been using it to
also
full
true.
effect.
Also true. But if you are to use Mercy somewhere, it's going to be Watchpoint Gibraltar to pocket that DPS, whether it be your hit scan or your flex. And that's what we saw in the previous map.
We have to
And
say though,
yeah,
it have looked monumentally better from that Lijiang tower, where they look just
yeah,
completely outclassed, completely outmatched, going into Midtown, being able to hold Ripcord at the doors for quite a while, but eventually they did burst through off the back of a fair few ultimates, and then going into Watchpoint and Gibraltar, a full push for both teams, 40 seconds more for Ripcord, but eventually able to burst through that dam, the water
yeah.
coming through and going up to 3-0. But I
I
mean,
mean,
the question is now, what have you got?
Ape 1 hour ago and Ape right now. If you showed me those two clips side by side and said, like, what do you think? I would say that these two teams are completely different. We're going to not New York City, but Suravasa.
Yeah, this could
And
be the last stand of Ape.
they couldn't have done it on a more beautiful map, honestly.
I agreed. I love Suravasa as a map in general. I think Flashpoint gets a
Yeah.
little bit too much doubt from a lot of people, even though it's not quite
Honestly,
as new
tell
anymore.
me this. Is this a hot take? Is this a lukewarm take? Survas is the best map in the game.
It's definitely up there for me.
Yeah,
I do love a bit of Ilios Lijiang Tower, but that's because I like throwing people into the void. But someone who's not going to be able to do that is either of these teams, at least on Lucio, as that Lucio is taken away by Ripcord. And like I said, you're dictating pace of play by taking away that speed advantage that you do have from that
yeah.
Lucio. And the question is, does this suggest that they'll be back on that Mercy composition? I mean,
Um,
you told me this a few hours ago, I'd be laughing about it, but when you're able to put so much into Shoreline Pie and Shoreline Pie's coming up the goods,
I
it's
don't
not
know.
really something to take away from it.
I mean, it's my prediction, but I feel like they're gonna go back to the Ramatra compositions with a Brigitte Juno backline. I mean, you cannot ban it, and or like both of these heroes are available. You're just gonna put Shoreline Pine back on the Emray, let him do his work. You don't have to put all the eggs into the basket, and Yeah, I feel like that's gonna work a little bit better on this map specifically. On the previous map, sure. And here we can see Potato's career. Also a pretty coveted
Looking,
one.
yeah, looking for a first win since a little while back with the Wallaby Warlords. Got close a couple of times the Leducs Worldwide, a second, Meowser, a third, but I mean, Ripcord, since the regular season, as soon as they've hit the playoffs, they've been in a different gear entirely. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 to get to these grand finals, and they don't look like they're giving it any sign of stopping soon. APE, you do see a 2-3 loss, which is a lot closer. They know that they can play these they can play Ripcord closer than they've been able to so far, but Ripcord just seem to find another gear in these upper brackets, and they don't want to stop this train right now.
And boy, do you not want to be on those tracks. Ape, just get up, honestly. I can suggest just like standing up and walking away from the train. And then punching the train in the back. That's that would be my game plan, honestly.
But you got to be able to keep up with it as well, and I mean, it's like
That's
coal's
a
been added
challenge.
to the fire to a different level. The fact that you have gone
The coal in
unbeaten
the
in the
train?
playoffs.
Is it the steam train?
Maybe. Maybe. Love a good steam train.
Hell yeah.
But
Choo,
hey.
choo.
It looks like
Anyways.
it's all aboard for Ripcord, though. I mean, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 is really, really impressive so far. And it's another 3-0 that's facing them. But this time, they're not quite won it out just yet. It is going to be one more map that needs to go into their favor. And they know they have 4 chances at it. Obviously, they are going to want to keep this golden stage alive and win out on Suravasa if they possibly can. But they know they have some time in the back pocket to be able to see this Kitsune League through. But I mean, the only other thing is you're going to be a little bit worried that if you start to let something slip, things are going to be more and more and more difficult. It's just like you don't want to let something go and let the momentum go to the other team and then get there in the end. It becomes a monumental task to get the momentum back into your wheels. You can keep the train going fairly easily, but once it's stopped, it's a lot more difficult to get it started back up again.
I love production throwing shade in a specific direction. There.
I wonder who we're waiting for, guys. No one, apparently. We're getting the game.
There we go. God, this is such a beautiful map. Like, look at just it's so pretty.
Yeah, we can't quite see the crocodiles from this angle, but they're going to be the ones trying to snap back here on Suravasa and at least give something for their team to be able to capitalize back.
No,
and it's back to the it's back to this.
No, no, please.
If they're gonna run this,
I'm begging you.
If they're gonna run this, at least it's felt like they have been better as a team over the past couple of maps. And the question is, are you gonna be able to time these hits together with both of your split packs? But you need to be able to do that to run this.
They're staying on this. This is not a drill. The cat is out of the bag. And it's carrying a robot.
Perfect
and
synergy.
Boy, do I have feelings about this.
Between cat and machine, but you can see already trying to get round to the back line. But how long are you going to wait here? The rest of the team's trying to front up, and you've been spotted as well now. Still trying to get somewhere here.
Okay, they're trying to set up a kill box there in the main.
Shoreline, Potato down low, but they're able to get back away, and in the meantime, Shoreline high. Starting off strong once more, able to take the head clean off of Star Potato, and now the rest of the team just grouping up. Kairos will take that every day of the week, 1-for-1 trade. Taking down that Ana, and surely you'd hope that Cam's not quick to follow if you are an APE fan, but Point already in control of Ripcord.
Okay, I mean, that hit didn't look that bad. It's just the aim of the Bastion was a little bit off, but the coordination was kind of there. The hit was pretty good. So it is looking up and up for this Ape team. We just need to hit the shots.
Bastion back round behind again. You can see him seeking in the bottom right of the screen, just off now. But Zimzif's down low. They have to make sure that they do stay in wait for this arm to be able to heal up Cam. Now we can hear the damage going through, and Star Potato's able to take use of the displacement. Been able to be found down so low as Potato as well on that Wu Yang, looking for the kill, but just
correct me if I'm wrong.
Finding it. Eventually they do find it though.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that the first fight win for Ape using the Catcom?
I think so. And,
I think they're a reformed team.
Feel the Love hasn't dropped Demonic Possessor off as a, sacrifice to the spirits, but to get
let's
back
not think
on
about
the
that.
objective. Does
but here we are. Oh, Star Potato dies though.
Immediately starting it off, but Demonic Possessor with the help of Feel the Love, they've been able to get this Bastion Catcom to work now, and it's looking more and more pressure for the other side. Potato of this ERE is going to be able to do a lot of damage to it, but it's still going to be a question of how are you going to get away from the sights of this Bastion who's just chilling now.
It is forcing the positioning of Ripcord as well. You're gonna swing in from behind here. This is gonna be monstrous for Ripcord.
Perfect onto Luca.
Get the kill to Luca.
Takes a little while to get the kill, but eventually are gonna fall. Shoreline Pie, the next two go down, and Potato just does not have the movement to get away. Kairos has been able to flip the point, but how long does it stay in your hands? Cam having to invest a bomb, and Kairos actually with the pulse bomb onto the opposing Tracer. Absolutely crazy. Supine's been
Supine getting kidnapped.
off of the objective, catnapped away, but Demonic Possessor dive snap. Surely they're not going to whiff this in the worst way possible. They've been doing so well. No, you can't go out like this. First point now falls back into the hands of Ripcord.
No.
How has this been allowed to happen? Seema, please tell me there's a hope.
There's a hope. This was looking so much better for Apes. They just fumbled a little bit. It happens. There's still a lot of the map to go from this point on. And look how open, actually, the next point is for this Bastion to go around, to go above the point here to do massive amounts of damage. But can the rest of the team follow up on that damage is the question. Here we go. It comes in.
Means that there's nowhere to hide from the nano.
Potato does go down.
By making the most of it. 3 kills fall out. They are able to get the trade onto Insurgent, but looks like the last 2 here of Star Potato and Cam are going to be forced back. Invest in Kitsune Rush in that fight as well. Star Potato is going to have that pulse bomb online, but it's not exactly the most impactful.
Okay,
something big off the
you have bomb, and the thing with Cat, you can carry the bomb. You can deliver that bomb straight to the back line. Let's see if they have the tech down though, because the Diva is already so deep in here, and on 1 HP. Will that even be attempted?
Star Potato already as well. Zimzif trying to get away. It's a 1-point trade out for that Bastion. At least a good start. That Captive Sun not on the board anymore for Potato, but Cam stuck in the back lines. Shoreline Pie's going to try and get this kill before the remake can happen, but able to get back in there is Cam. To use that double with full effectiveness, or at least there's something there. Down super low is Feel the Love, and off the back of that anti-Cam so low. They're trying to get away here, but just no effect. To be falling out immediately. Self-destruct does go on to Super.
That's 2 kills for
Potato is able to get
Ape.
Kill with that pulse bomb. Now the Captive Sun onto Demonic Possessor, but Star Potato's running right on the point, and now the sights are set onto that Tracer.
Potato has to hit those shots, but it's not looking good.
Doesn't hit quite as much as they need to, but they have been able to get to 99% at the very least. They don't have the ultimates here to be able to fight back in. Closest here is for Shoreline Pie.
Yeah.
The Overclock's going to be up there next, but it'll be a little while.
Ripcord went deep into the bank on this last fight here, and now Ape in this driver's seat are gonna have to hold on to this for a little longer. They have a really good position here going to the next fight. Oh my god, this Bastion going from behind.
Of the catnap here drops off the Bastion immediately, tries to get something in. Luca immediately falls. Catnap still online now.
Flip goes through.
Is going to make sure that Shoreline Pie is there. Now
it doesn't matter.
Has to get back to the objective, but immediately takes out Kairos with the quick melee and forcing
that was
back
beautiful
as well.
Just one ultimate invested. Just one ultimate invested means you have 4 more to go into the next fight. Yeah, you have to pace yourself though. They're gonna start off on the back line.
If they decide to go for it, but so much care onto Shoreline Pie, just about able to stay alive now. You can see that they are trying to get in here. Immediately dies, does Simsif, but leaves us Death Blossom, or a Blessing, sorry, for the rest of the team. Shoreline Pie though, that's crazy! Finding those 2 kills with the Overclock, Build-Up has to get just back under that little lip, try and stay alive as long as possible. Not going to be the same set for Cam, and now it's just the cat left on the objective. Again, it looked like it was doing so well for Ape. The second objective falls to Ripcord. It's too little too late for Ape as well. They're going to need a reverse sweep on Surabasa to keep the reverse sweep on the entire series alive now.
Did you feel that? That was a heavy sense of deja vu from Ape fumbling the bag at the last possible moment, just like they did on the first point.
Respect onto Shoreline Pie though. Those couple of kills in the Overclock were absolutely insane.
Absolutely. I am not taking it away. But here comes the bomb. It doesn't get anything. But we are back to the fight here. We have a little bit of damage going into the Surpine. Actually, a lot of damage going to Surpine. And he gets out of the mech. Shoreline Pie though, forcing out the Bastion ultimate. How does Kairos feel? How does Kairos find the stick onto the cat? That's insane.
Cam's been able to trade it out. It's a 1-for-1. Now the rally invested by Potato, trying to keep the rest of the team alive, but it's going to be a rally that does not last long in the face of Demonic Possessor's turret. They have been able to take the objective here, Ape, as they look to mount a comeback here on Surabasa.
Yeah, I mean, they have the point here. Now they have to do something with it. Catnap available. But Zimzip goes down. Kairos finds an amazing pick here. No ultimates available for Ripcord, but they don't need it. Shoreline Pie goes down. Will it matter in the end? Catnaps comes out, finds the Ana. She goes down the well. And it's looking good for Ape. They have secured themselves another chance at life in this map. Now, Overclock available for Shoreline Pie.
Yeah, those fight-winning ults are still there for Ape, but doesn't matter if Shoreline Pie's hitting the kills that were there previously. And you can see how quickly Shoreline Pie's built that up, actually. A little bit ridiculous there. Cam is going to have that remake available, and Demonic Possessor just waiting in the wings, waiting for the call from Star Potato to come in. Now you can see him going through immediately onto the backline, trying to find the kill, but it's a good defense.
The DM is there.
Out from Supine to make sure the rest of the team doesn't fall down. Now the Overclock re-invested as they try to fight forward, but Shoreline Pie goes down. And now, with the use of every single one put on the board, the kitchen sink is invested, but they need the momentum back into their...
They're using more?
Nano out is onto Supine, still trying to stay alive here. The bomb invested.
There's more?
Now just trying to do something. They're still alive in this fight. Somehow, Supine able to get back into the mech. Now Kairos has come back in the face of Star Potato. Gets the stick. No, not quite onto the Bastion. Still trying to stay alive. Able to get out to the health pack. No, Cam is able to chase it down, but Shoreline Pie is back in the nick of time. The cavalry's arrived once again, and the flip has come through from Ripcord. Surely he can't be losing 3 objectives in a row like this.
Not yet.
Time here, but 8. It's dire straits.
I wouldn't say so. Ripcord has used everything and the kitchen sink to go and win that fight. Ape now has their chance to stay alive in the series, to stay alive in this map, and more importantly, to stay alive in our hearts. Demonic Possessor with the Dash note and feel the love with the catnap. Will they get it done? Kairos finds the first pick.
Down, but Kairos finding the first pick is absolutely massive. And they're doubling down on it as well. Everyone falling. Even the catnap's not going to be able to save him now. Surely Demonic Possessor going down low. And once again, this field tracing out. Eventually, it is going to fall 99% on all 3 objectives. But none found for APE. Your champions of this upper division are Ripcord. Congratulations to them and commiserations to APE. Ripcord, their golden bracket is complete. Able to take down all 4 maps here for an entire 13. Unlucky for some, but not for them on the entirety of their upper bracket run. No losses. Congratulations to a team that, once they got into the playoffs, have seemed absolutely dominant.
Yeah. I'm gonna cry for APE. I have nothing to say. I fumbled the bag on the first 2 points, and the third one they had it in the bag, but just Kairos in there finding the pick on the last fight is so brutal. And
the DPS line,
yeah,
it just looks so good for Ripcord. Kairos and Shoreline Pie, when they needed something clutch, it was always them finding that miracle pick to start off the fight and making sure they were in an up numbers situation. Against the Kitsune rush, Overclock comes out, finds 2 immediately from Shoreline Pie, and my word, some of the things that they were able to do was absolutely ridiculous. But we're going to go to a quick break, but we'll be right back with an interview from one of our players at Ripcord. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this short break. Welcome back with us in the upper division finals, where we just seen Ripcord take a dominant 4-0 victory over APE. And we are joined by 4 of their players as well, one for each of the maps that they were able to take out in this upper finals. Congratulations, guys. How are you doing?
Hey.
Awesome. I'm free from Shoreline Bar.
You won't be free any longer.
Well, Potato, to start off with, I mean, we saw a graphic as well partway through your match that said, you like the Mercy. We'd seen it previously to that, and we'd seen it post it as well. Was that something that you guys wanted to come in with immediately, knowing that that was something you wanted to play? Or was it something that just sort of happened on the fly?
As soon as I saw the buffs happen, I pestered my team to force me on it. So
All right. My next question is to Shoreline Pie. We've seen your record. The last time you won was in, I believe, Watch Over Palestine. Unfortunately, you have beat my team in that tournament. How do you feel? And honestly, how do all of you guys feel? Having the golden stage or the golden playoffs, not losing a single map, you gotta feel strong. You gotta feel a bit of an ego after that, no?
Coming into playoffs, yeah, we had somewhat of a rocky start going. Even though we went 4-2, we went to a many map fives, but once I don't know what happened. It was in the regular season and playoffs. We just absolutely just locked in. There was no ego. There was no anything. We just set the grind onto the game, and we just win. There was nothing at all like that. We just locked in, and we just won it out.
Awesome. My next question is for Kairos.
Yeah.
Can you please coach me? Can you please coach me? No, I'm sorry. I'm joking. That was an amazing performance from you guys. The last map, especially, was won and lost by the DPS. Is my personal opinion, but we've seen my actual question is we've seen the buffs on the Pharah coming into the season. How do you feel that impacted your tournament run? You've played a lot of Pharah, and it looked phenomenal. How? What's your thoughts?
I just like the Farah character. That character's fun as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think the burst is too much, or do you think it's just right for this character?
This character can now one shot with the concussion and the burst. So I think it is too much.
Right on.
Well, not a final question. We've spoken a lot about your guys' prowess and being able to get through the golden stage, but you did have quite a challenge going forwards, and it felt like your opponents were gaining momentum coming into the matches, even though they weren't able to take anything off you in the end. It felt like they were growing further and further as we got closer into these final rounds. How do you guys feel as they were coming back into their own and finding these things that were starting to work against you, even though you were able to hold them off? We okay. I'll open it up
who's
to
hitting the crickets.
I'll open it up to anyone else.
Hey, Potato, you got that?
Oh, I mean, I said it before when I did a little tier list, but unironically, this team has one of the best mentals I've seen in quite a bit, quite a while, especially for a draft team. It also helps that we know each other, but even without that, there's no team I bet that has as much whimsy and joy as us, even when games are really close. I mean, obviously you can kind of see it with how we play and kind of the stupid stuff we do, but also we know when to drop whatever we're doing and just like play the game. And I think that's like kind of what we did today. We just kind of did what we wanted to do, and if it didn't work, we adapted fast enough that it didn't drop us anything.
Well, congratulations on your win. And before we let you guys go, is there anyone that you'd like to shout out from your journey through these playoffs and to your win?
Shout out my favorite 6th and 7th members of our team, Nuttier and June OBS. Especially when June wants to replace Relimpi. Always W's in chat for that one.
Hey yo.
And yeah, I'm happy. I'm free.
All right.
Well, congratulations to you guys on your win. We'll let you go and celebrate that now. And once more, your winners, Ripcord, in a dominant fashion. 4-0 here, but 13-0 combined over the entire bracket. Congratulations to you guys.
And speaking of the
you.
bracket, look at the opposition, all falling to bits in the face of Ripcord. The is that a chainsaw? I think that's a chainsaw. I'm gonna say the chainsaw is
Chainsaw Man.
ripping through the opposition. Kind of fitting for this team as they win the Kitsune League Season 5, and we can crown them the champions now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe that there's something else that we've got to crown, a finals MVP. And at least for me, I can't look too far away from the player that even your own teammates have decided is too good for the lobby, putting the Mercy Pocket on. For me, Shoreline Pie is the finals MVP. I don't know
absolutely
about
agree.
Zima.
I absolutely agree. Sholepine, while you're here, congratulations, and how are you feeling about the MVP, I guess?
Yeah, it's obviously it does feel good. Winning finals MVP again. But yeah. But I can't. But like honestly, I cannot done it with the support of my, especially my backline, of like Potato and and Luca has played out of their mind this entire playoff bracket. And like I want to give a massive shout out, unfortunately, to like he can't be here or not, to Supine. He was the most absolute steal of the draft, and he was like able to set me up for like all these amazing plays you saw on streams like earlier and in previous like matches. That's like my biggest like round of applause for like Supine and my backlines for setting me up for success on this team.
Right on.
Well,
All right.
congratulations once again, and I'm gonna let you guys go now. But before we go as well, just gonna give a little bit of a shout out to the people that have been bringing you this stream. We've had Lowell producing June and Orange on our observers. Obviously, you've had me and Zima on the cast for you guys tonight. And thank you to everyone that has been watching, whether it's been a night shift for people in Europe, a day shift for people in America, or wherever you are around the world. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.